For the Oscars, baby.
It's time once again for the Oscars, the show that's only worth watching to see what goes horribly wrong.
This is not a joke. Moonlight won Best Picture.
And the Oscar goes to Crash.
Oh, wow!
Since you probably only saw Top Gun Maverick and Avatar 2 this year, here are honest trailers for all 10 Best Picture nominees to help you catch up before the ceremony.
I saw
From
almost
the creator
everything.
of Big League Chew,
Not
which
this.
should really come with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and an actor so distinguished you have to pronounce her name like this.
Kate Blanchett.
Comes a bunch of classical music talk that will go over your head.
Marin Alsop, Joanne Falletta, Laurence Elcubet, Natalie Stutzman.
Visual symbolism you won't understand, and nuanced thoughts on the nature of power and prestige that will be ignored in favor of the same cancel culture bad debate for the millionth time. But after watching
Kate Blanchett.
remind the audience they're uncultured slobs for 3 hours,
I want to watch this movie.
cheer as they finally throw the nerds a little bone at the end.
Sisters and brothers of the Fifth Fleet, it's time.
That's the score for Monster Hunter. I understood that reference. Video games are art now. Sick. Tick, tick, groom.
Oh boy.
From
Okay.
director Steven Spielberg comes a stirring look at the life of great American director Steven
Spielberg.
It's a little self-indulgent, but if anyone has earned it, it's director Steven
Steven Spielberg.
Watch old Steve take an unflinching look at his extremely Jewish youth, starring the extremely not Jewish Michelle Williams,
Guilt is a wasted emotion.
full of great cameos,
Family hot.
solid filmmaking advice,
When the horizon's in the middle, it's boring as
and one weird trick that makes cleaning up a breeze.
Get that corner. Get the corner. Get the corner.
Cinema Therapisto. You
I haven't seen that
laughed
either,
as the
and I haven't
movie
seen
parodied
this.
the elite world of fine dining. You chuckled as Glass Onion reminded us billionaires aren't so smart. You smiled when The White Lotus mocked the rich for being unable to let loose. Now, get ready to say, okay, I get it already. With 2022's fourth high-profile attempt to hurt the 1%'s feelings.
Do any of you know how to make a fire?
No!
As Ruben Östlund takes aim at social media influencers, Russian oligarchs,
I want to see this too.
and champagne socialists in a film that struck a blow for the working class, taking the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and a whole bunch of Oscar nominations. Now win Best Picture, and rich people will have to change, right? Right? Creed 2, Cruise Control. From the director
This
of
I saw.
Moulin Rouge, The Great Gatsby, and other
that movie.
movies that spin around so much you feel like you're in Triangle of Sadness, comes the true story of one young man's rise from obscurity and the fateful decision he was never able to fully leave behind, doing the Elvis voice.
I think there's a lot less of it now.
I'm glad you say that. I hear it all the time.
Sure, Austin Butler's from Anaheim, California, but 2 years later, he's still doing King Face.
You know, I don't think I sound like him still, but I guess I must because I hear it a lot.
To the point where his fellow nominees have kindly asked him to cut it out. You want Tom Hanks to keep doing his Elvis voice?
Ain't nobody gonna do a better show than that.
The King's Leech. Prepare for a film that truly
Haven't seen
delivers
this.
on the promise of its title.
Oh, I get it.
Set in a religious community so old-fashioned, they're still using the first Queen Elizabeth. In the third example in 5 years of a Living in the Country Best Picture nominee starring Frances McDormand. She's like a human cheat code, as these women come together to make an impossible decision.
Do nothing.
Stay and fight. Leave.
But you know, no matter what the outcome, women be talking.
You women realize we are talking about leaving.
I want to talk about my horses, Ruth and Cheryl. We need to discuss options for the men and the older boys.
Would it be a good idea before we list the pros and cons to talk about exactly what it is we're fighting for?
I want to tell another story about Ruth and Cheryl.
This is never going to end.
12 Angry Mennonites.
I saw
From the
this.
studio that. Hang on a second.
I knew it.
Hey,
I
John?
knew it.
Yeah, it's John. Yeah, I know it's been a while. Did you happen to change your Netflix password? You mean they're not letting you share accounts anymore? See, this is exactly why we broke up in the first place. Based on the required reading you have to remember from grade school comes a reminder that war never changes, and neither do war movies. Featuring all
Good
the
point.
required hits: the trenches, shellings, gas masks, shell shock, stubborn generals, vets.
I mean,
who
it's not like
practice
they didn't
civilian life,
happen.
Pew pew bang bang, etc. In this epic prequel to World
It's not like
War
they didn't
II,
happen. These things
that after
happen.
1917 has made World War I the favorite setting for directors' most prestigious Call of Duty trick shot montages.
No way! There's no way, dude!
Oh god.
Woo! Kill streak tanks! Soldier Boy, tell 'em. It's a sequel to an action movie
my
that
God.
audiences actually liked. So
saw
there's
this
zero
too.
chance of it winning Best Picture, right?
Yep.
Still, enjoy this victory lap for the most crowd-pleasing film of the year. That may
This
not have
was.
much to say beyond Jets Go Vroom. But hey, Tom Cruise has pulled off more impossible stunts in the past, and no other nominee courts the boomer vote quite this hard.
Your kind is headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir.
But not today.
Put your cell phone on my bar.
And you buy around.
I love this song.
World War Whee! Watch James Cameron be reunited
this too.
with his favorite co-star, Water.
Water.
In this sequel that asks us, why didn't 3D TVs catch on again? Oh, right. Reunite with Jake
Good point.
Sully and all his kids, because I guess there's no Pandoran pullout method, including his adopted daughter, Tree Jesus. They'll all learn to bend a new element from the Space Maori, battle evil colonizers, and... Okay, look, the full honest trailer for this one is coming out soon. Can't give away all the jokes until then.
I thought
The
so.
Life Aquatic with James Cameron.
The Life
From
Aquatic.
Martin McDonough, a director so famously Irish, he was born and raised in London and married an English aristocrat, but still makes Irishness his whole thing, like if Boston were a person. Comes a film Americans recognize right away as an allegory for the Irish Civil War, so long as there are no follow-up questions. About a 1920s clout chaser who ditched his friend for the cool table, and Colin Farrell as a real Forrest Gump type, who also happens to be in love with an ass named Jenny.
What's that, Jenny?
In this cozy sweatered conflict that the whole town gets in on because they don't have TV yet, so this is basically their Love Island.
Why aren't you talking to Park Sullivan no more? Didn't you and he used to be the best of friends?
We're still
I don't
the
know.
best of
Yeah,
friends.
I didn't know this movie at all.
Farrell got fingered. From the Damn Daniels.
Yes, I
brought
saw
you
this movie.
Farting Harry Potter corpse. And Alabamans a horse comes the decade's best film about the multiverse. And that's saying something because Kevin Feige has been trying his best, okay? In this absurdist take on generational trauma, existential angst, and actors feeding each other their hot dog fingers, where even if you suddenly learn Kung Fu, the real takeaway is learning patience, kindness, and then maybe you should throw out your Trader Joe's everything bagel seasoning because it only leads to problems. Yo, 824 Raps. Starring these 2022 entertainment trends. Getting sick.
Yeah.
Extreme
So
class
gross.
divides.
So gross.
And fighting the rising tide of fascism.
You know, typical
They really are
Oscar
just redoing
stuff.
the Roaring Twenties all over again, huh? Wasn't there anything original to this year? And Donkey Death.
Ah, Jenny.
Oscars 1995. Wait, that can't be right. The 95th Oscars. Does he know? If you've made it this far, you might actually care about the Oscars. You sick little freak. We analyze the declining
What?
quality of Best Picture winners over time with actual objective data in an all-new episode of By the Numbers. Click the thumbnail on the right to
Declining
watch
quality?
exactly how, why, and where it went wrong. And the Oscar goes to Man Gets Hit by Football.
Am I excited for the Oscars this year? For sure. Why not? I watch them every year. I am of course worried because of the Will Smith jokes, but you know what? That's just a thing that's gonna have to happen every now and again. Who do I want to win Best Picture? I don't know. I guess the easy answer would probably be Top Gun, because that's probably the film I had the most fun with. And then Everywhere, Everything, All at Once, and then Avatar. Those are just the movies that I saw. And then we got to get Michelle Yeoh to win the Oscar. And then Brendan Fraser. If Brendan Fraser doesn't win the Oscar for The Whale, I'm going to riot, because that movie, I wish that won Best Picture, because my gosh, I was just sobbing. There were just tears, buckets of tears. Just when the movie opens alone, I was already like, all right, I'm like just pure. So the Oscars are this Sunday, and I'm hoping for the best. They don't have to make it razzle dazzle every year. I don't know. Part of me feels like they try like a little too hard to get everybody talking about the Oscars, which is why these things happen. But just make a nice award show, guys. Just make a nice award show. Thank you all for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe to YAN, and I will see you all, not at the Oscars, but in the next video. Bye.